Part 1. Setup. They say the Michigan woods are deep enough to bury secrets the world was never meant to uncover. One of those secrets was David Halpern, a father, a husband, a man who vanished into the trees and became a ghost for 20 years. Trees shed their leaves in golden showers, carpeting the quiet suburban street in a soft rustle. David, in his early 40s, athletic with a scruffy beard, moved with practiced ease. Yep, plus extra batteries. His pack was filled with thermal socks, freeze-dried meals, a compass, and a hunting knife. On the porch, his wife Linda, sharp-featured and composed, sipped from a steaming mug and watched him with the quiet worry of someone used to being left behind. But before he disappeared, there was life, love, and tension, just like in any family. It was a crisp October morning in 2005 when David Halpern packed the last of his camping gear into the back of his weathered Subaru. "Did you pack the new GPS?" she asked, her tone bordering on skeptical. David glanced up, flashing a familiar grin. "Do you even know how to use it?" "These woods raised me, Lynn. I'll be fine." "And I've been worrying since prom night," she replied, trying to mask the fear in her voice. "Just humor me." Linda stepped down from the porch, and their kiss lingered, her hand gripping his a second too long. "I'll send coordinates once I settle in, promise." Their 3 children trickled outside. Sarah, 17 and sullen, had her earbuds in and arms crossed. Evan, 15 and always full of energy, wore a camo hoodie and clutched a small video camera. They watched in silence until the car turned the corner and disappeared. A pot of stew, untouched, cooled on the stove. The clock above the sink ticked louder with each passing second. She tried David's number again. Voicemail. Jessie, just 10, trailed behind with her favorite doll dragging by one arm. "Hey, Dad, get some footage of the waterfall," Evan said eagerly. David ruffled his son's hair. "Maybe I'll catch a glimpse of Sasquatch." "Bring me back a pine cone," Jessie called. "A pretty one." "There's nothing. He's gone." Bloodhounds barked and strained at leashes. Volunteers tramped through underbrush, tying orange ribbons to tree limbs. Evan, desperate, led his own searches, eyes red and burning. Sarah screamed into the cold air until her voice gave out. Jessie cried quietly in the back seat of Linda's car, clutching her doll to her chest. Sarah, without looking up, muttered, "Can we cancel this whole Dad's wilderness birthday thing next year? It's so lame." "He wouldn't just disappear," she whispered. Linda collapsed into a chair, shoulders heavy with exhaustion. David looked at her with something between resignation and affection. "It clears my head, Sarah. Reminds me what matters. None of us knew him like we thought. With 3 dependents, you qualify for full benefits. 2 installments." Her face was thinner now, her eyes ringed with fatigue. Evan plastered forest maps on the dining room wall, marking off every searched area. Sarah dumped her backpack onto the floor and stared at them all with contempt. She didn't start the engine. She just stared into the gray sky, the silence pressing in. He hugged each child. Sarah stiffened but didn't pull away, and so Linda began the slow, silent work of rebuilding a life atop the grave of another. "Just come home," she whispered. "Always do." He climbed into the Subaru and drove off. 2 days later, Linda sat at the kitchen table. The house was still. "Day 3, she said quietly into the phone. "Just checking in. Call me, okay?" She hesitated, then dialed again. This time, the number was different. "Hi, Oscoda County Sheriff. I need to report a missing person." The days that followed were a blur. Flashlights cut through dense thickets. "We've searched every trail, marked and unmarked," the sheriff told them on the 6th day. "You can't just give up," Evan shouted. "He's still out there." "Son, I've lost men in these woods. After a week? Statistically." "Screw statistics." Linda turned back to the woods, her face pale. Inside the house, grief twisted into conflict. Linda scrubbed dishes with trembling hands. "You're pathetic," she snapped. He left. Maybe he wanted to. Shut up, Evan shouted. Dad wouldn't leave us. You don't know that, she said coldly. Stop yelling, Jessie cried from her bedroom. Everything froze. The official search ended after 10 days. What remained wasn't unity, but splinters of trust, of hope, of the family they once were. 6 months later, under harsh fluorescent lights, Linda sat across from a young insurance agent with a clipboard. Your husband has been declared legally dead by Oscoda County, the agent said gently. Linda nodded stiffly. And that's it? Just over? I know it's difficult, but yes, ma'am, standard procedure. She signed the papers with a trembling hand. Outside in the parking lot, she sat behind the wheel of her car, the check folded neatly on her lap. There were no flags, no ceremony, just a check. But even paper carries weight. To be continued.